So I'm thinking about the central bank digital currency where this guy, I'll post a video next. He just basically said, I'll wash my hand. This guy just basically said that central bank digital currency will be easy to print because it'll be numbers on the screen. Well, it won't be printed numbers. It's basically just, it's not even really money. It's just incentive. It's like a carrot on a stick for us to move from the transition from the Piscean age of the fish or the fish scale or fiscal money, where the scale is the actual gold and the silver, like coins or scales. And we're moving from that into an incentive. Like they say, well, you know, we're heading into such hyperinflationary times right now that they're printing money out of thin air. Not just thin air and water vapor, which is the Aquarian age, aqua air. Aqua is the vapor and the air being the air, Aquarius. And so basically we're basically being given an incentive. This is the only way it's going to work, based on just by virtue of us even having an Aquarian age. It's the only way it's going to work. It won't work based upon you know what I'm saying, money. We're phasing out of that. So basically what it will be the incentive for people to get what they need, which may even be air. Like that movie Elysium with Matt Damon, where it was like the people who had money, like I said, it'll be a communism. We'll all have what we need. And I hesitate to say that it'll be based upon everyone being a part of a secret order. You know, where that fits in, I'm not entirely sure. I was never really on Star Trek. I can't really say I watched it enough to see where they actually alluded to people being in an order. You know, but I do think that the planetary resources will be based, you know, they'll be harvested for the good of all people, just to maintain it. Anybody that's benefiting from this, like even if they're not a part of the lowest part, there shouldn't be any totem where there's a lower part or a high part. It should be all lateral, meaning that we don't leave the planet. But any event that a person, like under capitalism, and we're talking about it's going to be communism, under capitalism, one person wanted way more than everybody else, to the point where they actually went into drugs and cocaine, and they actually went into a credited a phase where they used up all the credit, and then the people who were actually given possession of these companies and corporations ran them into the ground, because their job was to sell drugs that didn't even benefit the countries of their origin. But they take money from our country and they ship it back. But I don't want to go into that, but it is what it is. But so we're phasing that out. Like I say, I'm not against Asian people, Chinese people. I say Asian, they can be Hindu too. But because I realized, even watching that movie with that Kevin Hart movie, well, something like a business, the lady was like, the Chinese lady, I'll say Chinese, Korean, Asian, she pulled the gun out on one of the dude. It looked like he might sell Bolivian cocaine or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like saying that the Chinese people, they don't want no parts of the drugs. Nothing about them says drugs to me. They cook food. Let your food be your medicine. People who sell cocaine, they benefit off your pain. People like somebody said, they say, don't hurt yourself on your job, because your job, the vacancy you leave by hurting yourself on your job will be in the paper before you get out the hospital. And with what I'm saying about the incentive of the central bank digital currency being what it will be in order to keep people motivated to work, there will be no position to lose. There will be a consistency of working at a pace if you can pace yourself. It'll be whatever you want it to be. But in this world where everybody's like, I'm smarter than you, well, the smart thing to do would be to work at a pace. Do it one time. Do it one time, taking your time. It might take all day, but it'll be done right, and it won't have to be done again. Versus trying to work fast and then you get hurt, and then they got to find somebody else to replace you, and that person doesn't have the skill and training that you have, but they'll fill that position for however long it takes you for you to heal, maybe a month or 2 months, 3, 4 months, you know what I'm saying? And then you come, and then they'll be getting that lack of productivity for 3 or 4 or 5 months, you know what I'm saying? However long it takes for you to heal. And then when you do come back, then it'll be like, well, damn, man, you had to get hurt to realize that you could have just taken your time and been like, it took me another whole extra day to get it done. No, it would have taken me another whole extra day to have gotten it done if I had taken my time, versus me trying to rush and cram it all in one day, and I end up getting hurt and end up drawing, my expertise away from the quality of the project or projects for about 4 or 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Peace, peace.